Good afternoon and welcome back to today's latest market analysis. Let us start off again with the US dollar index. For those who are new, the US dollar index measures the strength or the weakness of the US dollar against a basket of major currencies. So we will be, of course, analyzing the movement of the US dollar, and we will also be referencing the UK pound and the euro dollar, or even the Canadian dollar for today as the major currencies which are trading against the US dollar. Okay, so again, this is a follow-up on a day-to-day basis ever since day one. And for this particular week, ever since Monday, which was over here, okay, Monday was 13, okay, so Monday was here. So ever since Monday, we can see the US dollar was still on a bearish trend, weakening all the way, and it has been on a bearish trend ever since it touched a high over here on 30th of June. Even on the 4-hour charts, it was showing us again that it was in a consolidation phase, and on the 30th of June it was towards the resistance levels of the consolidation phase, and then after it started to move down. Okay, so so the US dollar has been bearish for a while, and as of yesterday it touched a low of 95.69 on the US dollar index. And currently at the end of yesterday's US trading session, it managed a very strong or decent rebound or recovery, and it should probably go sideways for a while first before deciding whether to move up further or down. Okay, so for yesterday's movement, we can see that the major move started at about this candle at about 900 hours, 9 plus 5 if you're in Singapore or Malaysia. You add 5 hours to it, so 9 plus 5 would be 14, would be 2 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time. Okay, so it doesn't go back up above this resistance, and at 2 p.m. as the volume is rising, we do see the US dollar weakening, obviously weakening. Okay, so 2 p.m. is the first mark. So when we look at the major currencies trading against the US dollar, let's start off with the UK pound. So let's see what happened at 2 p.m. for the UK pound. Okay, so this was the UK pound yesterday. Okay, so for the UK pound, it was moving up as early as this candle. This candle is at 100 plus 5 hours again. So as early as 6 a.m. yesterday Singapore time, the UK pound has been moving up at from 1.2553, and towards the evening session it touched a high of 1.2647, going out a total of 94 pips. Okay, so Asian trading session up about 32 pips, and towards this is the one. Again, this is the first candle. Again, the time you can see 900 plus 5 is 14, which is 2 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time. The UK pound moves up again from 1.2574 to a high of 1.2650. Okay, so the Asian trading session, it moved up about 32 pips, and during the UK trading session it moved up about 72 pips. Okay, so total was about 100 over pips up. And then towards the US trading session, during our live market analysis yesterday, the UK pound touched a high of 1.2648, and then moved down about 72 pips to a low of 1.2575. Okay, currently the UK pound is still bearish as of this morning at 3 plus 5, 8 a.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time. The UK pound continues to move down from 1.2589 to a low of 1.2551. Okay, so currently it's down about 37 pips. So it should be ranging or a bit quiet until late afternoon or even towards the evening session, as economic data from the UK, Europe, and also from the US will play a role in deciding the sentiment and movement of the UK pound. Okay, so that is for the US dollar. Again, at about 2 p.m. US dollar weakens. We do see the UK pound strengthen, and when we analyze the euro dollar, it's pretty much a similar story. As the US dollar was weakening at 2 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time, let us have a look at the euro dollar. Okay, so the euro dollar, yeah, this is the candle, this is the candle, this is the first one actually at about 800 hours plus 5 is 8 plus 5 is 13, which is 1 p.m. So if you can take it around that range, either 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. as we normally do, 2 to 4 p.m. the euro dollar does strengthen from 1.1394 to a high of 1.1451. Okay, so went up 57 pips before coming down at 9 p.m, coming down another 49 pips. Okay, so yeah, so that is the movement, the sentiment of the US dollar. Okay, the US dollar index, the movements on the UK pound, and also the movements of the euro dollar. Okay, so for yesterday's analysis on the euro dollar, again we were looking at it to come down from 1.1440 levels. It did go up just a little bit first, about 11 pips, before pushing down even further by another 38 pips. Okay, so yeah, even this move down of about 38 pips, if you manage to catch anything from 20 to 25 pips, that is pretty okay, pretty decent for the euro dollar. Okay, so again, the Canadian dollar, we were talking about it just now. For the Canadian dollar, there was two major news coming up for the Canadian dollar. Number one was the 10 p.m. Bank of Canada monetary policy report, and also at 10:30 p.m. we had the crude oil inventories data. So for the monetary policy report and the rate statement, the Bank of Canada maintained their rates at 0.25%, no changes. And the second data which will affect Canadian dollar would be crude oil inventories, which came in at negative 7.5 million, a contraction of 7.5 million barrels of crude oil, which was way more than the 1.3 million barrels of contraction that the market was expecting. Okay, so it means that there is a large reduction of crude oil inventories, and theoretically this means that supplies are reducing, and theoretically it should mean the oil prices should be moving up. Okay, supply less than demand. So leading up to the 10 p.m. Bank of Canada event, or even the 10:30 p.m. crude oil inventories, we already saw that during yesterday's market analysis, which I uploaded at about 1 p.m. local Singapore time on a Wednesday, we were already looking at the Canadian dollar to be trading in a range. Okay, and on the 4-hour charts, it was coming down from the resistance levels, and back on the 1-hour charts, it was also forming a downtrend. Okay, so the downtrend extended all the way until the events at 10 p.m. and it went down. You can see this major bearish candle. Okay, you put a cursor here again. The time is 1700 plus 5 hours to this. If you're in Singapore or Malaysia, this would be 17 plus 5, 2200 hours would be 10 p.m. Okay, 10 p.m. as the Bank of Canada announced their monetary policy report. Okay, so upon time of announcement, it went up a little bit by 11 pips, and then went further down another 69 pips. Okay, so it was a follow through even as early as yesterday. After touching a high, the Canadian dollar moved down from 1.3635 over here all the way to a low of 1.3505. Okay, so from yesterday until from Tuesday over here, Tuesday until yesterday night, it went down about 130 pips. Okay, so currently it's gone quiet, so we need to wait for the afternoon session and also the evening session. Okay, so yeah, again very exciting first 3 days of the market, a Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, where we saw plenty of movements and opportunities to catch a decent profit. Okay, to catch a decent profit. So let us have a look at gold prices. Gold prices, as we mentioned, for the last 5 market days or so, it has been in a consolidation phase, even on the 4-hourly charts and also on the 1-hour charts. Okay, so no difference yesterday. Gold prices was mostly consolidating between a high of 1,815 US dollars, 1815, and a low of 1,802. So it was in a range of about $12.70. Okay, so nothing much to shout about. However, we still do see the movements of about $10 ranges going up, $10 ranges going down, and also $10 ranges going up again. Okay, so yeah, still largely in the consolidation phase. So we will see what happens yet later. Okay, consolidation phase, yes, but it is still also mildly bullish. Okay, similar story for silver prices. Silver is also on a consolidation phase, but there's a slight tinge of bullishness to it. Okay, so again, we need to watch out for latest news and events later on when the markets are getting more active. Okay, so last but not least, crude oil prices. Again, we do see crude oil prices rising again after testing a previous resistance. Okay, crude oil prices rose, and after yesterday's 10:30 p.m. announcement that inventories was crude oil inventories was lower, or even supplies was much lower than market expectations, crude oil prices did move up at about 10:30 p.m. Okay, this is the one, this candle here, 1730 plus 5, 2230, which is 10:30. As the crude oil data was being announced, we do see crude oil prices moving up from $40.61 and jumping all the way to, I wouldn't say jumping, gradually moving to $41.41. Okay, before that, crude oil prices actually went down first from $41.09 to a low of $40.27. Okay, so yeah, very nice market movements, very clear, very precise and gradual. So yeah, so finally, let's have a look at the S&P 500. S&P 500 again is the 500 of the largest stocks listed on the US exchanges. Of course, it will include companies like Google, Facebook, Apple, and so on. Okay, so obviously, we mentioned also the S&P 500 is still currently in the consolidation phase. There's a slight tinge of bullishness to it, but depending on the situation, again, the coronavirus situation in the US, and also the tensions which are rising between US and China regarding new sanctions that US recently approved or sanctioned against China. And now China is looking to retaliate with their own sanctions against US officials. Okay, so it's going to be a tit and tat story, and we are yet to see how it's going to pan out or how it's going to end up. Okay, so if you had a good trading days over the last 3 market days on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, if you want to avoid a Thursday and Friday, it is fine. If you're not familiar with the behavior patterns on Thursday and Friday, you can avoid it. It is okay. However, if you still want to trade today or tomorrow, I would say for today, watch out for the evening session from 7 p.m. onwards, and decide your direction only when the volume and the chart patterns, and when you are clear where the market is going. Okay, so remember the list of events coming out today. Be aware of it and start to analyze the markets as early as 7 p.m. today, and you'll see how the trading goes for the next 24 hours. Okay, so hope you guys had a good session yesterday during the live market analysis. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop me in a comment on our Facebook channels on FX Primus, or even my own Facebook page, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. So thank you for joining me yesterday, and thank you for joining me for today's daily market analysis, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you. Take care. Good day.